Mike Moore Media, the first place to hear Rockingham County news and information.
Today, I'm visiting with Maggie Murray at Rockingham Community College, Athletic Director and Director of Student Life. Hey, Maggie, how are you?
Hey, good morning. Good. How are you, Mike?
I'm doing just great. Before we talk about all of the good things you're involved in at RCC, tell us a little bit about yourself, please, Maggie.
Yes, sir. Well, my husband and I moved to Rockingham County 6 years ago, and we just love it down here. I'm from the mountains of North Carolina, and went to Appalachian State University, home of the Mountaineers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And my background is in health and physical education, so I certainly have a passion for athletics. And we moved to the area, and I worked in the school system for a time here in Rockingham County. And then I was fortunate enough to get on here at the college, and I've been in my current position for almost 3 years as Director of Student Life. And I tell you what, this is the best community college in the whole wide world. I worked at another community college in the mountains, and they were certainly awesome, but this is certainly a special place that we have in Rockingham County.
Aren't we fortunate to have Rockingham Community College here for so many years?
Absolutely. I think we celebrated our 50th anniversary, I think a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. And I know we have one of the biggest acreages of a community college in the state. So yeah. I think we have 256 acres, and it certainly feels like a university campus. It's just beautiful. We have all kinds of hiking trails, and our buildings are spread out, and this is a beautiful campus. So I love it here, and certainly my husband loves it in Rockingham County too. So we're just happy to be here.
And we're happy you're here. And a note about your husband, Paul. He is Assistant Rockingham County Manager.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he is. And it's really neat that we get to work across the street from each other. Mm-hmm. So the college is right across the street from the government center.
Yeah. Well, we're glad to have you and Paul here. And I know you are so passionate about what you do. Let's talk about athletics first. We'll put on your athletics cap. Tell us about what you're involved in there, and maybe what's going on now with COVID and how that's affected things as well.
Yes, sir, certainly. So you mentioned putting on my athletic cap. I do wear many caps here at the college, and one of my most favorite caps is that of athletic director. It is certainly a different time for everyone, right, in the athletic world, and in the world in general, but especially in athletics at this point. We do have two sports here at the college. We have men's baseball and women's volleyball, and we're piloting women's beach volleyball. So that was piloted last spring, that got cut short, so we're piloting it again this year, and we're really excited about that. As far as our baseball program, we went to the NJCAA, the National Junior College Athletic Association's World Series in 2018 and 2019. So those are actually my first 2 years as athletic director here, and so those were wild years. We've had several great years with our baseball program. Our head coach Reese Honeycutt, he is stellar, man. He is a super guy and a great recruiter for our school. We have about 50 baseball players on the fall roster this year. So I think even with the happenings in the world at this point, we were still able to bring in, 50 quality student athletes, which I think is a big testament to our college and our area, and certainly our coaching staff. But we're excited to get the fall baseball season started shortly. I guess I can talk about kind of our. I'll get to the our COVID plans at least, but we do have court volleyball, and this year we decided to hold off on that. We're suspending court volleyball for this academic year, but we are still going to have our beach volleyball piloted program that will be played outside. So we were looking to do just outdoor sports, to minimize the indoor interaction. So we're having beach volleyball and baseball this year, and we are able to practice and compete minimally this fall. The baseball season for the fall is starting September 10th officially. So that's our official first days of practice, starting September 10th. And for beach volleyball, that's September 14th. So the NJCAA, as you can imagine, has set in lots of protocols for all of our NJCAA schools, and we are in Region 10, and that consists of North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, and West Virginia. So we have a pretty big region for our student athletes to compete in, which is pretty neat. So we're excited to have our student athletes back, and with that, we had to big time prepare for them to come back. I know as athletic director and as a past coach that the first priority is our student athletes' safety, and we really big time hit hard on having us a hefty safety protocol for our athletes coming back. So meetings were had to let the coaches and the athletes know kind of what we're expected, and those safety protocols that we have in place. That that's a big thing that we're doing this fall, and that started just this past week. So baseball started this past week doing a little bit of their workouts that they can do before the official season starts. So yeah, it's certainly a different thing around these parts.
Yeah, it's challenging, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah, for sure, and it's a different feel to the fall. But I will say our students that are here, the athletes that are here, are tickled to death to be here.
Oh, great!
And that'll make you feel good after not being able to see students for a few months.
Yeah.
So certainly my jar is full.
Great. Well, let's talk a little bit more about baseball starting September 10th. Maybe where some of your guys are coming from.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we have. I mentioned earlier that our head baseball coach, Reese Honeycutt, he's a great recruiter. So we actually have student athletes from Ohio, and Georgia, and Florida, and the majority, of course, from North Carolina. I will mention that we had a commit from Canada that was supposed to be coming down to play with us this year, but backed out because of what's happening. So we have representation from many states that are playing on our baseball team, which is really neat. Yeah.
That really is, I think, and you said it a little bit ago, that speaks well for what you're doing right there at RCC, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a little bit more about the beach volleyball that you said is a pilot program.
Yes, sir. So beach volleyball is an up-and-coming sport, and the NJCAA just adopted to pilot the beach volleyball 2 years ago. So we're kind of in that cutting edge of beach volleyball. I think we're one of 5 colleges in our region that are piloting it, and it's very popular. Beach volleyball is very popular on the West Coast, and it's creeping to the East Coast certainly. And I know in Greensboro they have some new beach volleyball courts, so we're gonna hopefully be able to practice there and compete there, and see kind of how, if we can get our program up and going. We do have a couple recruits for beach volleyball coming from South Carolina, and also some from North Carolina. So our head volleyball coach, David Reagan, he's a fantastic guy. This will be his second year with RCC, and certainly we were disappointed about the court volleyball, but we're still excited to be able to offer beach volleyball during this time.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay. Well, it sounds like with all of the other things going on, that still the athletics program at Rockingham Community College is coming together, and I know you're so passionate about that. So you've got some good people in place. It sounds like you're ready to go.
Yes, sir. We're excited and chomping at the bit for sure.
Now, so we could end this segment by saying, "Go Eagles." Okay.
Yeah, big time. Go Eagles.
And that will move us into something else. But before we get away, I'm curious, Maggie. I think I've lost track, probably 50-some community colleges in our state. Do all of them have athletic programs, have sports programming going?
That's a great question. So there are 58 community colleges in North Carolina.
Okay.
And I don't know the specific number, but it's not a whole ton. I don't even think it's half of the community colleges.
That's what I thought.
In North Carolina.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're really fortunate at RCC to be able to offer athletics. And certainly for our region, we are Division III, so that means we don't offer athletic scholarships. So it's really a neat thing to be able to have athletics, to not be able to offer, scholarships, which is, something that brings people in too. But I think because our college is so unique and offers great programs, and then a pretty cool spot, rural North Carolina, but still close to a big city. I think that's what, keeps people here and draws people in.
Sure. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Okay, so all the best with the athletics there and the program at RCC. Now let's talk about some other things you're involved in as Director of Student Life. What is that, Maggie?
Another great question, Mike. You are killing it today. That's your job, though, right?
Well, I have some good notes. Thank you.
Oh yeah. So yes, sir. As my role with Director of Student Life, I am over the activities on campus. I also am over all of the clubs on campus and the events that we have. Certainly, we offer community service for our students. So anything that is, campus related, campus life, I am over that area. Also, I'm over the fitness center area, which allows for our students to work out in. Not at this time, but they all kind of intertwine with one another. So essentially we have 11 clubs on campus, and I work with the advisors to, work with our students. Mm-hmm. We also have a student government association, and that's a student-led organization that I mentor, and they help come up with activities and events for our campus life. And it's a really awesome job to be able to work with students and foster, kind of what they have going on, because, the community college system, the time in students' lives, they have to feel connected. Mm-hmm. If they're not connected and engaged in something, then they might not be as successful. So my ultimate goal is to, help retain our students, help them feel like they have a spot, like a home on campus. Mm-hmm. And that's sort of the skinny on the campus life and student life.
Yeah. And of course, your world of student life has changed drastically, too. Are you busier now because of the pandemic, or not as? How is all this affecting what you're doing? Because there's not a lot of that interaction you normally would have.
Yes, sir. Big time. It is completely different. Usually we have our student center is popping. We have, all kinds of students hanging out down there, and our fitness center and gym typically have a lot of students in it, people walking around campus. It is, obviously it has changed so much, and I've been telling people, it's a different kind of tired that I'm feeling. Mm-hmm. Usually I'm running around and getting events going and making sure, everything's moving around here. As far as student life, but now it's my brain is moving, maybe more than my body.
Yeah.
And to come up with virtual ways we can engage students and help them be involved that